Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. This is my first ever playthrough of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. I'm pretty sure at this point that we're gonna get chosen to be the killer.
Hey, hold on!
And I think Makoto knows too.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be? I think they're gonna choose Makoto. But how does that work? Oh my god, it doesn't feel good. It feels pretty bad. This is what they felt? What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. Shut up, Toko. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right.
No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. The whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your power.
Wait, did I get the bad ending? Wait, why do I? Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Yes! Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I'm gonna haunt all of you. What is happening? I'm gonna haunt all of you. What do we do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh, this visual is great, but still, this is where we started. If you think of it, we started at the table. Oh no, are we gonna get crushed? Wait, is this the bad ending? Did we get the bad ending? I mean, even if this is the bad ending. But then again, like, after school lesson. What is... No, we definitely didn't get the... Because I think they wouldn't have ended the trial if we did. Is that anger or is that disdain? What's on our face right now? It's nervousness. It's sickness. Oh, and closing the eyes, knowing it's coming at this point. There's Chihiro. Wait. What? Wait, did Alter Ego stopped us from getting crushed? Are you serious? What now?
What's going on?
Yeah, that was Chihiro. That was Alter Ego. It had to be.
This is...
Alter Ego. Oh, this is so good.
Alter Ego? Is that some sort of virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. Kyoko, that could have gone all wrong.
I could have been killed.
No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt the thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste it in the garbage-strewn pit in a way that is even better than special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
What have you guys? Yes, okay, we didn't die. But there was no assurances that this was going to work for sure. So I know someone in the comment section is going to be like, actually, there's no... Yes, I get it. The Kyoko's very smart. You're okay. Delete that comment. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. Oh.
What did you say?
What'd you say? What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. What are you doing? Hope Speak Academy. What are you doing? It brings the top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school. But what are you doing? They said that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. What is happening? With hundreds of years of tradition, it's sending the cream of the crop. What? No, stop. Stop. What is happening? It was built to raise hope and to stop it, right? What is... Which makes Hope Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to know you need to attend a school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. What is happening? Stop. Stop right now. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Oh, it was a dream? Wait, no, that's how we ended up here. That's how we started. Stop. Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on the top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Please, tell me what is happening. It wasn't any classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together, and then I was awake. Or was it just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? What is this? It looks like a... No, it isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils, excuse me for the yawn, was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after my good friend went through to save me and put me in a trash pit, not knowing if it would actually work for sure. I remembered all too well what happened. Oh, Chihiro did save me, for sure. Alter Ego saved me, and he used the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Why? There. There's a door. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Huh? What do you mean? Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in school's garbage pit? Okay, they want me to go to the door. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decide to look around for some food. What? There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But it was all pointless too. Next, I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve all the strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. You lose a lot of strength though while sleeping. Yeah, you gain a lot of energy back, but like your body's still using resources. And all I did was sleep and sleep. And I was like waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what I thought for the sky was it a sign? Got crunch. Oh, it's a got crunch. What the? A strange sound pierced my sound isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did the giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was, and it tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash, rude? Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Kyoko came down. Oh,
It smells awful.
Yeah. I still like it, though. Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious I'm here to help you? I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you finish. Actually, very cool to see her with trash in her hair because it's like one of those moments where like she's not perfect. You know what I mean? It's really cool to see that. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. That's not how energy works, but we'll take it. So you still haven't given up then? I'm gonna have to clarify what I mean by that. Like, food has to go around your body. Like, it doesn't just give you energy as soon as you eat it. It doesn't work like that. Like, it doesn't. I know just someone was probably gonna comment how, like, or exactly what I just said there about how food works. Of course not. After all, the fact I can keep going forward is all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Okay, how are we getting out of here? But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. No, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. Yeah. I abandoned you. Yeah. This is why I'm with Tagami now. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what... Yeah, it's okay. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive all, no matter the cost. Well, I don't care. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything, finally. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. Okay, here we go. Satellite radio. Gonna get hit with the boom boom. I made up my mind to come to Hope Peak Academy for one very important reason. Tell me! So you have some reason to come to Hope Peak Academy? That's right, at least I did once. Once? Until recently I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... Yeah, remember she had amnesia. I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? That really is true. You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember... Makoto? Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as you arrived at the school? First thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school and couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere. That would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But what if you say is true? Why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did, we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. I think it's Makoto. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything.
Okay.
My goal isn't to get out of here.
Yeah, this is super weird.
It's to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen,
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
hey,
Even now I still trust you, you know. I hope so. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Okay, so what are we doing? You said you had a reason for doing all this investigation on your own, so how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Let's do it! You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for, is the ultimate detective. I think I said something like this at the start of the game, but yeah, I kind of figured this is what it would be. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Havoc Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone who?
so...
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Right. What? Because he's my father. Yes, exactly. What?
In other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster. Oh yeah, she was so determined, no matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However-
But listen, Makoto, I want to make sure this is perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there? This is going to be super... It kind of like, yeah, I love that they're calling back in every single moment. Like they left, like I said, they left a load of breadcrumbs out, and now like we finally getting to those pieces. Or like they left a lot of strings, but they're not leaving them unattended, and I like that. We're gonna find out a lot of stuff about the things that we were confused about in the past.
So...
The rooms have been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, and the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. Yep. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Havoc Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mikuru's profile and the key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. Ooh. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if it were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there?
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you get a chance soon enough. Wait, can your key open up that door? It sounds like it must be important and really ominous. Okay.
However...
Of course, once I got to the second floor dorms, there were no cameras or monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on. It had to do with Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial, Mikuru Ikusaba, was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. That's why they ended it so early as well, I think. Also, it was. The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you were free to explore Hope Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. I'm just gonna sleep in, I'm the mastermind. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuru Ukasaba. What's that? There was a point where Mikuru may not have become the victim. Wait, what? So I was gonna be the victim. I could have become the victim. This is so juicy. This isn't just juicy. This is like the whole can of juice. This is like the whole apple.
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean? So that's what was about to happen during the night. I can hear them, you know, the footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread, and I looked down the stairwell and I saw the white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course. You bet the shit out of this guy.
However-
It wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the master assailant was. They ended up dead,
Correct.
and the murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mikuru is also the mastermind, right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use a class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mikuru. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did was a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other
It means that
words-
the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Yeah, when you corner, it's like that you know, it's like when you corner an animal, they will do desperate things. Just like if you corner a human, they will do desperate things too. Like, even in like the most minor things. Have you ever caught someone in a lie? And then if they're like someone who is like lies constantly, they will like either double down on a lie, but if you catch them really, really, really badly in a lie and there's no way out, there's multiple witnesses, all this stuff, they will lash out. They will make you the problem and then try to make you feel bad for even accusing them. Because again, people who are cornered will do desperate things. And in this situation, we were getting closer to the truth. I think Alter Ego had something to do with this for sure. I think the fact that like we found that room in the bathroom also had something to do with this for sure. And I think Kyoko is a big reason why they felt cornered. And that's that's obviously why they erased her memories too.
Makoto.
Just a little more. And I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. This song's so good. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mikuru was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking
That's
about
right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate
It would
despair?
seem-
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Oh, you serious? So whoever caused that tragedy is also the ultimate despair. 6 people left, wow. To be continued. And we got an item, the Dream Island rocket. You know what it looks like? I can't believe I'm even saying this. You know what it looks like? It looks like a weeping bell from, like a gray weeping bell. from Pokemon. 5 alive. Finished chapter 5. We did it. Yes, I'd love to save the game data. There you go. There you go. Oh, wait. That's gonna do for this video. I'm kidding. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. So yeah, the ultimate despair. I can see what she's saying. It doesn't have to be a person. Can't just yeah, you could say, oh, she's like despair personified. But saying like the ultimate despair sounds like almost like it could be multiple people, like a cloud of despair. You know what I mean? Like it's not just gonna be one person. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Door? Rattle, rattle, it's locked, but we have a way to open this door. The key! Open up the door! Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? The secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. I can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Let's open up the door! Hey, Kyoko, can we use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. I love that, by the way, that we didn't just get to, like, use the key. We had to ask her permission first, because that's very in line with Kyoko's personality. She's not just gonna, like, you know, hand things over to you right away. Kyoko took out the key in the Monokuma design, and it slid into the keyhole. Then, click. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. What's out here, though? Finally. We were finally free, but there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Oh, that's such a cool drawing. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Is this the final chapter? Don't tell me that, if it is. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up to into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder intent on reaching the surface. Whoa. Look at Makoto's shoes. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Okay.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. And yeah, she'll just get a face full of, like, thighs and legs and foot, and she would just fall to the ground, destroyed. Jesus, what an image, though. I can't believe they're showing Makoto's butt like that. Oh, get up the frickin' stairs. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said it, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep in mind of it. This is what's so funny though about like you know them showing off Makoto's butt like this is a lot of people will be like anime's all about fan service. This game has had like one scene of like fan service and that's it. But also like there's nothing like overtly sexual about a butt. You know what I mean? Like you can make it sexual, but like it's just a butt. They're just legs. You know what I mean? They're just a butt and the legs. And like stop objectifying Makoto, please. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. Oh, this is cool. You said the ultimate detective, right? You're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then your family's famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among the actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family's tradition, right? We should probably move up the ladder as well.
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say that it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, I was looking up info about the school online and never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family. Cool. Very
However-
cool. And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Holt's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing that's something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Holt's Peak, is because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to. I didn't get that either. I didn't get the reconnection part. But if you want to think that, Makoto. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You wouldn't have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
You would have so much to talk about. There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However,
He had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. Oh my god, you are the coolest girl who ever freaking lived, Kyoko. I take pride in my family's name, so every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. That's a good way of looking at it as well, like... you become great despite your horrible parents, you know? I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling, yeah. Usually, people's faces and mannerisms usually give their true feelings away. Have you ever seen someone say, like, I didn't do that, as they're, like, nodding their head? That kind of way? Or, like, oh no, it's cool, and they're, like, closing their eyes, making sure they're not looking at you, shaking their head like, it's cool, don't worry about it. Like, you know, what they're really saying is, I'm very upset, but I'm just too nice to say it, or I'm too shy to say it. All I could tell that was, compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame you, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. And that can, like, be, like, very, like a very big deal as well, like, you know. And again, like, they might not even be mean about it. But, like, you don't, you know, especially if you want to accomplish something, you're always going to be this person's daughter, this person's son. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family, in order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that, that's none of our business. I think people put too much emphasis on family. If your family sucks, you owe them nothing. You owe your parents nothing. If they are assholes to you, you owe them nothing. You owe your brothers, your sisters, your cousins nothing if they're horrible to you. That's just the truth. I'm sorry, it's just the truth.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Exactly.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Exactly, Kyoko! Yes! She's right. Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. You say, yeah, good on ya. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. I love this music beat as well. Here we go. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. Okay, cool. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. She's thought of everything. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my hand right up and pushed it against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Yeah. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long the ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. This has been like an incredibly like crazy amount of information flying at us at once, but what I think is so good about the writing in this game is that not only does it make sense, they package it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. You know, I never feel overwhelmed by like the information that's giving to me. And I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like, and not that overwhelming information can be bad. Like sometimes feeling a little overwhelmed is intentional, but I think in this sense they wanted us to understand Kyoko. They wanted us to finally get a grasp on who she was, finally, and I feel like we've gotten that to some extent at the very least. I personally think so anyway. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too, you help me so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. As she said, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Oh my god, Kyoko has thought of everything! Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like before, what does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mikuru's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go into him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this, but we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the
Shall
gym.
we go?
Let's get going. Okay. I mean, like, I'm kind of like, I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Monokuma should be in the gym. Wait, are we gonna meet anyone else along the way? Like, is everyone still down in the trial area? Monokuma should be in the gym. How did you know this? Mastermind Kyoko over here. There's nothing, like, here's the thing. Like, I'm a big fan of, like, both ways of doing stories. Like, sometimes I'm okay with, like, leaving things up to the imagination. In fact, a lot of times, like, Shadow of the Colossus is the greatest piece of media ever created. It's the best in books, movies, TV shows. It's better than everything. Art pieces, cakes, everything. It's the best piece of art ever created to me. And, like, they leave a lot to the imagination. The people who say, I know what happens in Shadow of the Colossus. Here's Shadow of the Colossus explained. All those videos are bullcrap because they don't actually have a full explanation of everything. And whenever the director is asked about it,
Well now.
he says, what secrets? You know?
Hey.
I'm actually so excited to see what he's going to say about this.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we going to be okay?
You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? Oh my god, she's so cool.
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Kyoko! I love he's like, Kyoko, please! Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
No.
If you execute Mikoto, that means you'll lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh? I lose? You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened, and then you executed, right?
Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. Oh, they expected her to be picked. Yeah, of course. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you were never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that. Yeah, their whole thing is that everyone would, like, eat each other alive. And it's friendship that saved the day once again.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machine. Alter Ego, the star of the game. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed
Am
him.
I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mikuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. She is so perfect. And if the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right?
And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that.
What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only one absolute truth.
boom, boom.
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Oh, it's crazy that you would try to talk like some kind of famous detective type, isn't it there? You stupid bear, you sick freak.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he would never have come to you willingly like this. Yeah. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. I did do that. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Oh my god, looking right at the camera. Well, me. This is... Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto, using the fourth wall to our advantage. I love it. They would assume that you killed him because of what was said is exactly right. She's so good.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto while proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mikuru's trial over again. What? Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial. This whole thing is giving me chills. This is amazing.
It's
It's time for one last showdown, one final battle between
One
hope and
final
despair.
battle between hope and despair.
Yes!
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mikuru's killer, of the mastermind themselves. For what reason would the mastermind have to accept a challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Bear it.
Very interesting indeed.
Barry?
What's wrong?
I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little, so time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for some, one honey of a
in
climax.
other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys.
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it will cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
Kyoko, like, continues to impress me, but this chapter is hers.
I can barely contain myself.
Let's have one final grisly showdown.
He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Bear it.
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for the final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All the mysteries?
That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you could do that, then it'll be enough to qualify it as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along.
Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mikuru's death and solve the mysteries of the school, then you win. But if you can't do all that,
We'll all face execution, right?
I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we have covered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? Honestly, can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Oh, when Kyoko clarifies stuff, it leaves people in a heap of their own despair. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure, so what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement?
You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mikuru is no exception to that.
Huh? Mikuru's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations, which would have mean that whoever killed Mikuru...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already. The killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students.
Wait, so does that mean for sure the mastermind is like one of the students?
And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Huh? Why do you go all quiet all of a sudden?
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you?
Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore.
So yeah, again, like she said, backed into a corner and snared. Kyoko has found out way too much about this now.
You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than I expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. I think I need to cool down for a second. Just give me one moment, everybody. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But I'm still glad it worked out. I love when she smiles. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice to accept but to accept. It's because of the audience, right?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it the mastermind let down their guard down?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? It said that they hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life out to the outside world. Yeah. They definitely said that.
listen.
And what do you think? What did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it in another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
it would seem
The mastermind had been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. Yeah, she's right. And the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. So whoever's doing this is proper weirdo. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. The group's only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that's the same motivation. That same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
in other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast the killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored the rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
But at least that's how those who were watching this would have seen it. And here's the thing, if you're trying to I think what Kyoko was saying earlier made sense perfectly as well. Because if they killed us then, as we're trying to prove this on live television and national television over the airways, worldwide television, the audience is going to see, well, okay, they clearly didn't have faith in their own abilities, or didn't have faith in the idea of despair, so they had to kill someone themselves to make it happen. And the audience would never watch their show again. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves. Why can't they just watch Dance Moms or something? Like, why are they watching this?
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations because you're freaking perfect. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial following all the proper rules to get me killed. It's funny how like every single death has meant something so impactful to the game, and going forward has meant something so impactful to every character. Every single character has meant something, whether it be like, you know, living through, you know, looking at Mondo, looking at someone who is like really desperate to not have their secret found out. Again, giving into despair. Whether it be, you know, Sakura giving into her own despair and committing suicide. Or like even like you know like stuff like Leon as well, like Leon the first killer and Sayaka. I really feel like that as well was them like kind of giving into their own despair as well, and like the idea of despair. I don't believe in the whole idea of like give into your despair, but like that's why obviously the mastermind sees it as well. They began the trial that didn't even have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer, but even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you, and due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead of who also was not the killer. And when in fact, when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion?
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
it would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge? I think it was a hunch, but at the same time, like, it's like an educated guess.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got a chance because you believed in me. Another path opened. I did believe in you, yes. So I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. Also, at the same time, I was ready to lie even if you were the killer. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. And you should be super happy with that. She let out a quick sigh. It took a small sign. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. It's cool to see that side of you, though. It's really cool. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment that we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic. I don't think it's pathetic. Like, we were like in a situation where we didn't know what was happening. We didn't even have like a basic idea of what was happening, really. Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is to earn our chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey,
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. Yep. True, but now we won't. Now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Yeah, but one of them could be the mastermind. Work together with everyone?
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Right now we have to go find the others.
Shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? Guys, that's going to do it for this video. This is probably the most information-heavy episode we've ever had. But also, I feel like it's progressed Kyoko's character forward quite a bit too. And the relationship between Kyoko and Makoto as well, I feel like is stronger than ever now. I'm super excited to see what we're going to be doing in this, what I can only presume is the final chapter. This has been a very, very cool ride. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.